Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is a 2006 launch, 750 pieces in grade 5 titanium. It is the Jaeger-LeCoultre Amvox 2, the second in a series of scratch-built, custom-designed watches to celebrate the long-lasting relationship between Jaeger-LeCoultre and Aston Martin. This watch might have been the most innovative chronograph of the 2000s. Before I delve any deeper, let me not bury the lead. We have a pusherless chronograph system for fat fingers wearing racing driver's gloves. You're not going to be able to get to little screw-down crowns and use them precisely, so you're able to tap the crystal at its top in order to start, stop, and then at the bottom, reset the chronograph. So we have a watch that is designed to be a pusherless chronograph. It pivots on ball bearings to activate the column wheel vertical clutch tandem, and you can see the bare chronograph hammers down at the bottom. I should mention that of all the watches I have owned and sold, I most regret selling this one. It was the watch I wore to my interview at Watch You Want back in June of 2014, so it will always have a sentimental place in my heart. Moreover, while most car watch co-brandings are contrived and superficial, we've seen Bentley, we've seen Porsche, we've seen Jaguar, we've even seen Aston Martin with some of its partners just take a logo and stick it on the dial, or use some signature colors associated with the car. But the Amvox series went deeper because the link between Jaeger Instruments and Aston Martin spans the decades from the 1920s to the 1990s. So there's real history here, and this series was the first time the Aston Martin logo appeared on a Jaeger rather than the other way around as dashboard instruments like clocks, tachometers, and speedometers for many decades were Jaeger branded in Aston Martin cars. So before we get into the automotive themes and how this watch respects both of its history, horological and automotive, let's talk about dimensions. 44 millimeters in diameter at center, surface to surface. We have 13.9 millimeters of thickness. The 44 millimeter case in diameter is 49.4 lug-to-lug with a 23 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Made of titanium and sapphire, it's very light. Wears easy on my wrist. Well, it's big, it's comfortable, and due to the curvature of the case back, it sits really nicely. So you can see on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters circumference, the lugs are inboard of the edge of my wrist. The strap is stiff, it's not broken in. I'm pulling it tight here, so I'm compressing my wrist a bit. But if your wrist is my size or larger, this is going to wear beautifully, especially once the strap starts loosening up and becomes more flexible. The strap's a beautiful piece. As you can see, brand new, extremely large rectangular symmetrical scale alligator leather. Jaeger-LeCoultre not pinching pennies here. This is a rare and expensive cut of the beast. Got a little bit of a semi-distressed grain gloss finish. Black monotone stitch. We got a folded edge, calfskin on the back, no crimping, no gouging. Pull tab spring bars so you can pop the strap off the case. Double folding clasp. This model came out in 2006. So did JLC's first generation double folding clasp. This is an example of that right here. It is friction fit, snap shut, prevents dropping your watch when donning or removing at bedside. Grade 5 titanium. Harder to scratch than grade 2, but also harder to scratch than 316 and 904L steels. It's hypoallergenic, it's very light, it's a wonderful material from which to make a watch. The original Amvox 2 was made in 3 series, 200 in platinum, 500 in DLC black titanium, and 750 in bare titanium like this. This is the model I like best and the model I owned. Mine was not nearly this well preserved. Mine had been refinished a few times, and this one shows lugs and facets that are as sharp and well defined as the day they left Le Sentier. So this is actually a better example than I owned, and you can see how sharp and crisp it was as originally built. We have both satin and polish here, and then the automotive themes abound. We have a crown that's designed to look like the screw-on gas cap of a vintage Aston Martin car or racer. And there's a little bit of the Polaris 1968 in here. Magali Maitre, who is the designer of this watch, a very young woman who is in charge of a generation of men's watches at Jaeger-LeCoultre, she paid tribute to the Polaris of 1968, the E859 diving alarm, which is why you can sort of see its lug profiles in the design of the case. Some of the features of the dials, like the numeral fonts that are used and the controversial Calypso-style hands, these are also an homage to the Polaris. And you can see this enormous cambered and boxed sapphire, also a nod to the E859. Because remember, when this came out in 2006, there was not yet a tribute to Polaris, and there was not yet a Polaris model line. So JLC was nodding and winking to its past in its contemporary watches. This is a purpose-built piece. You won't find the mechanism anywhere else in JLC's collection except other versions of the Amvox 2 and the rare Amvox 7. So only the Aston Martin chronographs have had this pusherless system. And again, the ability to operate the chronograph while wearing gloves is not just something that is convenient, it is a great piece of theater and a lot of fun, and the system works beautifully on the wrist. Now there's a lock here that allows me to lock out the reset so I can't accidentally reset by accident, or I can lock out the whole system by sliding the lockout to the top. That's what this little scale here, lock, unlock, that's what that means. And then in the middle, I have all the chronograph functions. You can see automotive themes, starting with the gas cap. We have the look of an automotive instrument, like a tachometer or a speedometer, where the bottom's not calibrated. That's why there are no numerals or indices down here. We've also got calibrations outboard, calibrations inboard. You can see minutes and fractions of minutes measured in groups of seconds for the second scale, and then outboard there's a scale for seconds and fractions of seconds, 8 beats per second, so you can measure up to 1/8 of a second. We have different focal planes, materials, textures, finishes, and colors, and then we've got instantaneous jumping minutes and hours on discs. We'll do a quick loom shot so you can see how this watch is loomed. It's actually quite bright. The hands and the discs are easy to see. The numerals are the rare black variant of Superluminova, so they're not as evident. The watch features a quick set mechanism, which I will demonstrate now. So you can rapidly cycle the date. And you can see that the Aston Martin logo on the dial, it's part of the center disc. It's very subtle. It's not visible to anyone except the owner, and then only at close range and only when searching for it. The only overt Aston Martin branding is on the back, and yes, 50 meters water resistant, has been through the Master 1000 hours test, which is a 41.6-day test of chronometry, winding efficiency, power reserve, durability, and water resistance. So back on the dial side, you can see some of the chronograph mechanism down at the bottom. And then you can see this dial is quite deep and premium looking. Again, the Amvox series watches were designed with automotive themes, and they shared almost nothing with the non-Amvox watches. They were a purpose-built model line that stretched from 2002 to 2012, from the Amvox 1 to the Amvox 7. Inside the case, we have Jaeger-LeCoultre's first in-house automatic winding chronograph caliber. This is caliber 751E, automatic winding, unidirectional action for greater efficiency than bidirectional, ceramic bearing for greater efficiency than steel, 4 Hz beat rate free sprung balance for precise adjustment and shock resistance, 2 barrels automatically wound to a 65-hour power reserve. We have a chronograph with a vertical clutch for smooth engagement. And if you want to leave it running full time, you can see there is no running seconds hand here. If you want to just leave it running full time, you can do that. The vertical clutch creates no additional wear or tear to the movement. Also, column wheel, super crisp actuation, very, very solid, sharp detent, a real punchy feeling column wheel. There are some column wheels that are not impressive. Frederic Piguet 1185s come to mind. This is very sharp. This is what you would get on something like a Dotograph or a Rolex 4130. Very impressive stuff. And again, JLC's own movement inside. There is a lot to love on this watch. Even if you're not into the car, this is one of the most innovative chronographs of the 21st century. At a price that's reasonable. Remember, if this said Richard Mille or Ferrari on the dial, or God help us both, probably would have been $1 million watch. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.